Welcome, welcome, welcome to the TCAT 10-Minute Take. It is I, your host, Sheree L. Stewart, and with me, as always, is my intrepid co-host and his sidekick, Cora.
Yes, the dog had to make an appearance.
She had to make an appearance, looking all cute and needy.
Very needy.
And today we are talking about Wanda Vision on Disney+.
First 4 episodes.
Yes, the first 4 episodes. So, before we get started, make sure you click that subscribe button and you click that bell to get all the 10-minute takes as soon as they drop. And as always, Mr. Chambers will go first. Go.
Yes. Wanda Vision, starring Wanda Maximoff and Vision. Let me just say, these first 4 episodes, love it. Absolutely love it. Now, we're not going to spoilerize it with there hasn't been any hardcore twists and turns just yet. But what I will say is the first 2 episodes, they kind of start off slowish in the sense of you're not exactly sure what you're watching, but you're watching it because it's interesting. And little subtle hints, very subtle, pop up even at the very end, like you have to get to the credits part and even a little bit after, and all of a sudden you just see like a little hint about something is a little off, a little different. And then, boy, when episodes 3 and 4 kick in, and then you're kind of getting a shape, you're sort of seeing what this WandaVision is, what this world is that you're watching, and you get, I just been reading of so many Easter eggs of what is bigger laying beyond that not only could be in this WandaVision show, but the MCU in general, that they could possibly be tying in from all the other projects. It just boggles the mind. But the key things that stand out in WandaVision that I like is they definitely were not afraid they're like, screw it, we're going to go a little different with something that maybe they're not ready just yet as to how we're going to tell a Marvel story. But once we start revealing what it is, and then they start to understand, I get it. They took a ballsy chance, like the first episode is basically like it's almost like an I Love Lucy episode, black and white. It's like the laugh track and all. And how they decided to sort of take those themes and tones of 50s TV and 60s and then 70s. And then I was like, that's ballsy. I like it. It shows you're more than willing to think outside the box. And the biggest thing that Marvel keeps getting right as opposed to DC and Warner's is they're not afraid of humor. They're not afraid of even just like in real life, even when things are seriously heavy or it's getting to a point, there is always humor somewhere. Whether it is through a person or just an interaction, they know how to bring the good humor, but yet it doesn't dilute like something that could be a very profound moment or something that could be a very shocking or deep moment. They're just so good at knowing that you have to still have that in there. Everything just can't be pounding on you, dreary life. So, they still get that, and WandaVision has that, even in those really tense moments. And it's, only 4 episodes in, so again, I'm not going to say a whole lot has happened, and I'm not going to spoil anything for those who might still need to catch up, but there's still a lot we don't know, and we're still finding out. I will say this, just to kind of give people a timeline sense. This does take place after the Tony Stark snap, and you do also, thankfully, you kind of get an outside reference or a different perspective as to how that Tony Stark snap affected people. I'm just going to say that it was kind
which
of
we
cool.
didn't get before, and that
Right.
was...
So it was kind of cool to sort of see when he does the snap from the outside and like a little sliver of the real world, how that kind of had an effect. And it's short, but it was still profound, and it was very cool. And I'm just saying, right now, 4 episodes in, It's great. I can't wait for episode 5. I kind of wish they put all the episodes out that we can binge it, but
Where would you put it on our scale?
oh, this is, you if it was movie tickets, I'm seeing it first weekend. I'm getting out there and I'm watching each one. On a 1 to 10, this is like an 8 or a 9 because I'm still waiting to see what happens. But right now, every time it comes out on Disney Plus, I am suggesting you watch it. Watch it, get to it, because it's only getting better.
Did you watch them one at a time, or did you watch them all 4 together?
At first, when it first came out, honestly, I kind of, it's almost blasphemous. I sort of forgot about it because there's so many other things I was trying to watch. And then when I went to Disney Plus, it had the first 2 episodes there. So I was able to see the first 2, which was cool to kind of get a feeling of a flow because they're really short. They're what, half an hour?
They're like 22 minutes, like a normal sitcom.
Right. They're not long at all. And so now I'm like, every time it comes out, I'm watching it. I don't have it in me now to wait for it to build up because I'm just too interested to see what happens next. But if you have the opportunity to, like, say, watch them 4 in a row, that'd be great because it won't feel long and you'll really get a feel for how it's progressing. God, I almost wish they put them all out at once, So
we forgot how to watch TV.
Yeah, this is like going back where you literally had to wait for like that day and time for when your show came on.
I watched them one at a time between weeks, and it was like, and I was seeing all kinds of comments like after the first 2 episodes because you don't know where it's going. Like the first episode was very much like an I Love Lucy, and the second episode was very much like a Donna Reed show. Like it was very contained in this TV land world they're giving us without just whispers of hints of the outside world, and people were getting frustrated because they don't remember how to watch TV and they're like giving up on it because it's too slow or whatever. And then I had a chance but I just was loving it for the content that it was.
Yes.
And, Paul Bettany is really funny, like surprisingly funny. And I love Lucy, so I'm not even gonna front like these weren't delightful to me, and some of the casting of the side characters was spot on with, Catherine Hahn and Deborah Jo Rupp, who was Kitty Foreman playing her kid best as the boss's wife. Like it was just so perfectly cast as one of those period shows. But it, watching these 4 episodes, it almost made me feel like I had to go back, and I wanted to go back and watch Age of Ultron, only because like now, we're seeing, and Age of Ultron is like my least favorite of the Marvel Avenger movies. And I think it's everybody's least favorite.
That's true. Yeah.
But now it's different because this show makes Wanda's character more substantial by a lot. And you can go back and now see her progression, where Age of Ultron is her first entrance into the MCU, and like how her character has progressed through, her story arc. And this is kind of like, it colors all that other stuff in more than I thought possible, which is very exciting because now we're thinking about, the Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then the Loki show, and how these television shows can sort of fill in some of the gaps from the movies and make them even better and enhance them. And they're miles ahead and leagues ahead of where DC is right now.
Yeah.
And, like they're playing 3D chess, and DC's doing word searches,
They're playing marbles.
Yeah, they're like slinging marbles, and you're just like,
yeah,
it makes, like, I didn't think it was possible for a TV show to make a mediocre movie better, which it seems to have done in a weird way. I definitely, if they had all these episodes, however many it's going to be, and it was like one movie and it was out, I would have been opening night ticket for sure. It's going to wind up being one of the better Marvel movies, because they've allowed themselves to take risks. And I love that the side characters from these other Marvel movies are coming together to form their own super team.
Yeah, I'm just
I
going to
love
say.
Jim Woo and
That's it. Because his character is Jimmy Choo, is it?
Is it Choo or Woo?
I think it's Choo.
It's Randall Park is who it is.
Right, it's Randall Park.
I love him in general.
But the best thing is, and Marvel's attention to detail, is when he does the magic trick to present his card.
Yes, to present his card.
And that was from Ant-Man.
So specific. And it's so...
Yeah.
It's Woo. It's Jimmy Woo.
Oh, sorry, Woo.
I was right.
And
I know my right.
I said, oh, wait a second. That's the trick he learned from Ant-Man.
Yeah. But I just think it's so funny. Like they have like 1,000 people on staff doing continuity.
Yes.
And like just keeping like their wikis and like keeping track of all these little details, and the actors, responsible for their characters have, really lived in these characters and internalized them in such a way to where their specific mannerisms are apparent across, years essentially. Mm-hmm. And that level of specificity is so nice.
Yeah.
To be an actor nerd for a second. Because we were just talking about nonsense overacting in our previous 10-minute take. This is something that's just like so small and so subtle and so nice. But if you are in the know with that character and where, coming from, it's delightful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. It's worth it. Disney Plus. They are keeping us interested with their, their constant influx of content. And, people were getting Marvel fatigue, and this is so different than anything else they have right now. And like, even my mom is like watching Wanda Vision, and she's like, and it's like, it's just so different than their other stuff. And so, yeah.
I mean, my wife is not a huge Marvel person. She'll enjoy it, but she was like looking forward to every episode of this because it's just so different. And she's like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. Even though I'm still sort of explaining how stuff ties in, but she's just like, it's just interesting by itself to watch.
Yeah, by itself. Like, just even if you don't know anything and you just watch it for its own sake, like it's worth the watch.
And also, just interesting by itself to watch, is our 10-minute takes. So please subscribe, hit that button, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified every time we have a new episode up. Also, if you go to our webpage, tcatnetwork.com, you get links to all of our 10-minute takes, all of our podcasts, as well as for Good Morning Antioch. You got to check that out. It's getting better and better with every episode and every season. But definitely subscribe and hit the bell, because with more Wanda Vision episodes coming out, more Marvel shows coming out on Disney Plus, we're going to have more and more that we're going to be reviewing, and you'll see them right here, and you'll know about them when you subscribe and when you hit that bell. So definitely check out WandaVision. Be sure you're keeping up with those episodes. Definitely watch our reviews. Maybe we'll wait for another couple episodes to kind of review how the whole progress is going in the series thus far. And till next time, see ya.